Hello, Mandela class. Welcome to your Talk for Writing lesson. Yesterday, what we looked at was we went over the text map again and we identified the key features of a non-chronological report. In the live session, you didn't really share, you didn't tell me anything that you particularly struggled with. We just discussed the meaning of non-chronological report again, which I'm also going to give you as a reminder. So a non-chronological report is something that's not, is factual, so it's non-fiction, and it is not in time order, so non-chronological. Okay, today's learning objective is, can I write a paragraph for a non-chronological report? So if you noticed on our text map, the sections are separated under subheadings and into different paragraphs. And the subheading then says what that paragraph is going to be about. So we'll be writing a paragraph for a non-chronological report about an invention of your choice. So it could either be an invention that we've looked at so far, or it could be something that you've got at home, an item that you really like, that you would like to write your paragraph about. This is just for us to practice writing the different paragraphs. And we're going to focus on the section, what does it look like? So we probably will make use of our descriptive language in this section. Let's look at an example to help you when you write your own. So we have chosen the penny farthing. What we started off with is to just gather some ideas. So it's almost like a plan. We're planning the paragraph that we're going to write about. And if you remember, when you're planning something, you don't necessarily have to write full sentences. You can write bullet points and keywords that are going to help you remember what you're going to write about in your paragraph. So pause the video and you can have a go at reading the bullet points that we've come up with and add any additional things that you can see based on what it looks like. Remember, we're writing a paragraph about what it looks like. So pause the video, read my bullet points and add any that you might think of yourself or you might see yourself. Okay, so as we can see, the penny farthing has an enormous front wheel. So we didn't just say front wheel because we want to describe what the front wheel looks like, and it looks enormous compared to the back wheel. So it has an enormous front wheel and it has a tiny back wheel. The seat, we can see, looks black and it looks quite sturdy, it looks quite strong. It looks like it's placed, it's quite stable where it's placed. So sturdy black seat. And it also looks similar to a bike. Is there anything in addition that you noticed about how the penny farthing looks? Well, it does also have two pedals installed on the front wheels. And you could also talk about these metal divides that go across the front and back wheel. Okay, so before we go and look at the paragraph that we've written, can you have a go at putting these bullet points into a paragraph, so into a few sentences to describe what the penny farthing looks like? And try your best not to start the sentence, not to start every sentence with the same word. So what we don't want is the penny farthing has enormous front wheels, the penny farthing has tiny back wheels, the penny farthing has a sturdy black seat. That just sounds quite repetitive. So think about how you could start each sentence in a different way. Play the video when you're ready for me to show you my paragraph. Okay, so what we could say is the penny farthing. We could start with the penny farthing because we want the reader to know what we're talking about, which item, which invention we're talking about. So the penny farthing has an enormous front wheel and a tiny back wheel. So what we've done is we have joined these two sentences with a conjunction. The penny farthing has an enormous front wheel and a tiny back wheel. What does the next sentence start with? There. There is a sturdy black seat which sits on top of the bigger wheel. You could even add more detail, which sits on top of the bigger front wheel. It looks similar to a bike. So if you pay close attention, we have started each sentence in a different way. And we've created 3 sentences that have formed into a paragraph to describe what the penny farthing looks like. We have also included some adjectives in there. Enormous. What other adjectives can you spot? Pause the video and have a think. Tiny. Sturdy and black. Because we are listing 2 adjectives, what is it separated with? A comma, which sits on top of the bigger wheel. It looks similar to a bike. So your challenge is, when you are describing your own invention, out of the ones that we've shown you, or describing any other item that you may want to describe, please remember to challenge yourself by not repeating the same beginning of each sentence. And remember, we don't start a sentence with and. If you're going to use and, it will just be a continuation of another sentence. So the penny farthing has an enormous front wheel and a tiny back wheel. So it's been put into a longer sentence rather than us putting a full stop and then saying and. Okay, so when writing your own paragraph, we're looking for a different start for each sentence. Let's have a go at doing another one together before you move on to doing your own. So pause the video, and here we can see the working flush toilet. Pause the video and come up with just a few bullet points about how you could describe what the working flush toilet looks like, and play the video when you're ready. Okay, so what did you notice about how this working flush toilet looks? The thing that stands out to me the most is the floral pattern. So can you think about what adjective we could use to describe the floral pattern? We want to make it sound exciting. We want to use Year 3 vocabulary. We want to challenge ourselves. So what descriptive word, what adjective could you use to describe what the floral pattern looks like? Well, I can see that this side and this side of the seat have got the same patterns. So it's like it's repeated on each side. Does anyone know what that is called? When something looks like it's been cut in half and each side of that half has got the same pattern, it's called symmetrical. So symmetrical patterns on the seat. I can't spell. On the seat. Now, how else could we describe all these floral patterns? Are they quite detailed? Is there another word that you could research if you've got a thesaurus or online, a synonym for detailed? Well, the word that I want to use is intricate. Intricate means quite complex and quite detailed. So intricate floral patterns. What do you see on the inside here? We can see some writing. What do you think that writing, what information do you think that writing would include? I think back to the electric hairbrush. What was it engraved with? It was engraved with the inventor's name on it. So here we can also see some writing on the inside, which may also tell us who created this design for the working flush toilet. What else can we see? What do you think it's made of? What does it look like it's made of? So what this reminds me of is china. If you have got some china plates or cups, it looks quite similar to that. And actually, some of the Victorian toilets were actually made of china or ceramic. So I'm going to say looks like it's made of. And finally, what can you see at the back? Before we move on, if you have got china at home, your parents will probably be a little bit sensitive about whether you use it or not, because how could you come up with a word to describe china? Why are they why may people be wary of you using the china? Okay, it might be quite delicate, it might be quite fragile, or it may just look like it might break easily, or it is valuable. So if you had this sort of toilet in the Victorian times, you were actually considered to be quite wealthy. So it might be quite valuable. So it looks like it's made of valuable. I'm going to do this on another line. And then what can we see at the back? Well, if you think of the toilets that you've got at home, the back of the toilet is normally attached to the wall. That's where the opening of the pipe is. And what color is it? How could we describe it? So it looks dark brown to me. Dark brown pipe opening, so that the pipes can go in and it can help with the functioning of the toilet. Okay, now can you pause the video and have a think? You can think out loud and say the sentences out loud to create your paragraph. What paragraph can you come up with using these bullet points to describe the working flush toilet? Okay, hopefully you've thought about your own paragraph. So I'm going to start my paragraph by using the word working flush toilet, because I want to start it off so that the people who are reading this paragraph know what item I'm talking about. So the working flush toilet is, well, it's decorated, isn't it? Because it's got flowers all over it. It's decorated with intricate floral patterns. Well, also, we discussed what we could see on the seat. It looks like the patterns on the seat are symmetrical. So there are also symmetrical patterns on the seat. What could I start my next sentence with? I've already used the working flush toilet. I've already used there. How else could I start my next sentence? We could also look back to give us ideas. Well, here, the next sentence was it started with it. I could also use that. It looks like it's made of valuable china, or it looks like there's writing on the inside. It looks like it's made of valuable china. I could merge these two sentences and I could say, how could I make it into one longer sentence? What word could I use to add more information? So it looks like it's made of valuable china and has some writing on the inside. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that because I don't think I'll have enough space, but you get the idea of how we've turned these few bullet points into a paragraph, and we have started each sentence with a in a different way. The working flush toilet, there, it. You can use any other words to start your sentence, but please make sure you don't start your sentence with and. Okay, now it's your turn. You're going to pick one of these inventions to write about, or if there's a different invention you would like to write about, then you can choose that as well. This could be a favorite toy that you've got at home, or something else that you can see around your house that you think would be quite interesting to describe. Please make sure that you follow the things that we've spoken about. Use your descriptive language, use your best handwriting, and come up with a few bullet points first, and then turn it into a paragraph, making sure you don't start every sentence with the same word. And I look forward to seeing your work on tapestry. Well done, Mandela class. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.